maybe 4 million could end up leaving Ukraine. So what's being done on the ground to help these refugees? Joining us now, retired Lieutenant Commander and co-founder of Project DYNAMO, Brian Stern. Brian, I don't know if you can tell us where you are, but tell us what efforts are being made and who's behind them.
I'll tell you that I'm south of Kiev. I'm in Ukraine, south of Kiev is what I'll say. We're working. Project DYNAMO has been in operation here in Ukraine since about 60 minutes after the first missiles hit Kiev. We've been operating pretty much consistently since then, either preparing for operations or conducting operations.
And what do you do? How does it work? And if anybody's watching and has communication, how can they get in touch with you to try to get out?
Big thing to do is go to projectdynamo.org and register on our website. There's an evacuation form button that informs us that you need help. I can't promise that we'll get everybody out, but I can promise that we're gonna keep operating as quickly and as efficiently as we possibly can, and safely and legally, obviously. So the step one is fill out the form so that at least we can find you, make contact with you, and see if we can work a way to get you out. There's some places that we can't get to right now. But we have operations ongoing. Actually, as I talk to you, we have two concurrent operations going on right now as I speak.
Okay, where are those?
Really can't say right now.
Okay,
but,
fair enough.
They're in Ukraine on their way to a safe place.
Okay, I wanted to get your thoughts on this. I mean, there's some thoughts that some of the Ukrainian people are coming over to Poland and other areas, that they might actually be given some of the things taken from Russia with the sanctions. I don't know if that's too highfalutin as far as a concept, but does that seem like a fair idea? As we're looking at a map, by the way, where people are going to over 600,000 into Poland. Obviously, that's a popular destination.
Yeah, I don't know. One of the things that I've learned through the Afghanistan experience with DYNAMO, it was founded in my living room. We went to Afghanistan. We're operating there, and now we're here. One of the big things that I've learned is that with each one of these cases, it's a terrible story. Every single one. No one wakes up and hopes to leave their home and leave their possessions behind, or become a refugee, or become an evacuee. So the idea of taking things away from people who barely have anything, it's not really for me to say. That's a policy decision, but it seems kind of I don't know. Sounds a little strange to me if your entire existence is whittled down to a backpack. Yeah. And I can take things out of that due to sanctions stuff.
Yeah, I may have misrepresented or not done a great job describing. The idea was to take some of the things that were being taken from the oligarchs, the Russian oligarchs, and turning them over to the people that are being forced to flee their homes. They don't want to take them from the people coming from Ukraine.
Sorry, misunderstood. I think that's a phenomenal idea. I think that's a great idea.
Okay.
And I don't know if there's a petition going around to endorse that, or if I should call it my congressman or whatever. But I love the way that sounds.
All right, Brian Stern, thank you. Be safe. Thank you for your efforts. Coming up.